Breaking update this afternoon on that deadly shooting at Old Dominion University yesterday morning. The FBI is now investigating the incident as an act of terrorism. One person is dead and 2 others are hurt after the gunman opened fire yesterday morning. Sentara now confirming one of the patients is in fair condition. They were listed in critical yesterday. Officials identifying the person killed as Lieutenant Colonel Brandon Shaw. Shaw was an ODU graduate who survived combat missions in the Middle East after enlisting in the Army. According to the ODU's website, Shaw was a professor of military science and the department chair. Now, as for the suspect, the FBI is identifying the ODU shooter as 36-year-old Mohamed Jalloh. All right, we're going to turn now to Jordie Clark. She joins us now with more details as the FBI investigates yesterday's deadly shooting at ODU, again, as a possible act of terrorism. Jordie.
Yes, Ashley. So authorities say the gunman served time for a terrorism case connected to the Islamic State, otherwise known as ISIS. So now investigators are working to uncover more. But as the investigation into the deadly shooting at Old Dominion University continues, federal authorities are working to determine not only what happened inside the classroom, but what may have led to this.
Federal investigators are now working to piece together what led to Thursday's deadly shooting inside a classroom at Old Dominion University. Authorities say the suspected gunman, Mohamed Jalloh, served as a combat engineer in the Virginia Army National Guard before his arrest in 2016. A federal court convicted him in 2017 for attempting to provide material support to ISIS. He served about 8 years in federal prison before his release in late 2024. Now the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force is leading the investigation to determine what may have motivated the attack.
We really have to dive into everything we know about Mohamed and what we know about his connections, his communications, and make sure that there's not going to be another one right around the corner.
Domestic terror expert Seamus Hughes is with the University of Nebraska. He says investigations like this often involve combing through a suspect's digital footprint, communications, and contacts to determine whether others may have been involved.
This was a Tier 1 case that involved a whole host of FBI resources to track him and a concern that he hadn't moved on from his past ways.
Former investigator with the Norfolk FBI, Brian Dugan, says authorities will examine whether Jalloh remained connected to extremist ideology following his release from prison.
It's a big difference between someone that's supporting terrorism versus actually weaponizing themselves. How does he go from supporting but then taking the big step to put himself out there?
Federal authorities say determining those answers can take time as investigators analyze evidence gathered from the scene, digital devices, and the suspect's concerning background.
The real trigger for this case was both Jalloh's background and his expertise, and also his connections. And so that raised all of the profiles, right? You're talking to a known suspected terrorist, you're attempting to travel, you've got a history of gun usage, and you know how to use it.
Now, the FBI says the investigation is still in its early stages, and it could take time for agents to determine what led up to the shooting at ODU. But for now, in studio, Jordie Clark, 13 News Now.